Are you playing an instrument as well?
Yeah.
What's yours?
One person came up to the street and gave me a hug and said, "Nah, see your song Stand Alone." I needed that, and hugged me. And then my sister messaged me in tears saying that, "See that song, you have to try." And see those things, it just means the world to me. Just
Yeah,
those
that's
those
why you
one
wanna do it.
person. And so I don't really care if people don't get it, because there's always that one that will.
So I've heard you are a dentist by day and this total huge cinematic rock star by night.
I prefer to look at it the other way, Fiona.
Okay.
I wish. Yeah.
Well, tell us a bit
Rainbow-
more about it. Where did Rainbow Riding come from?
Rainbow riding, it's more of a concept than just a name. I look at rainbow riding. In life, we tend to struggle with situations. We try and find ways to fight our way through things, but sometimes you just got to let it be. I look at those colours of a rainbow as different layers of our consciousness, and you know you're going to have the ups and downs, but a lot of the time it's just going with it. It's riding the rainbow, and just getting to the end of it. And that's where the idea came from. But say it's more than just a name. It's the whole concept of the music that I do.
So when did music first become a part of your life?
Oof. What age am I? A long time. I mean, I remember buying my first album, 1982, a heavy metal album anyway, with Iron Maiden, and it totally sucked me in. I just thought amazing how good this music could be. And I was writing songs before I even had any instruments. I remember I had a little Bontempi organ. Bontempi, does that, you know about that? And I was sitting on that trying to write wee tunes. I remember my friend John Marshall, and I actually had an old tape recorder, and I recorded one of these tunes and I took it into him. Bear in mind he was listening to Iron Maiden as well, and I took him this tune and said, I played on the Bontempi organ, and said to him, "What do you think of that?" And his exact words were, "I've got to admire that for bringing that in. What a load of absolute rubbish." But I was like, really? I thought it was dead good. But you know, the feeling was there, the emotion was there, and I still remember that song. And you know what? I'm going to record it one day and send it to him. So see what you think now.
Yeah.
I need to track him down first. I think he moved to America. But yeah, so anyway, so from about the age of 16, I've been doing that. And when the age of 17, I had a band. None of us had any instruments, but we actually formed a band. We got instruments, and then I started writing songs for that. And we had a great time. There was a school gig back in 1989 that for Comic Relief, and we actually raised £400. But aside from that, we had a great time. That was our launch pad, and for a few years then we played local pubs. You know, our drummer was 15. You know, we were 17 playing around these pubs saying, "You guys 18 boys, so I." And we'd go in and play, and we did so well. I mean, you know, back then, and accumulating in a gig at the Air Pavilion, which was our biggest one. We played the same stage that Iron Maiden played 2 weeks later, and that's like our biggest achievement. After that, we all went our separate ways, and for many years then I was just, you know, my acoustic guitar at home. Every time I had a bad day, I'd come home and write a song about it to help me come to terms with that. So it wasn't long before I had 100 songs that I'd written, and I'd just go into my wee room and I'd play away and write another song and never thought anything of it. And
So it's always just come really naturally to you?
Yeah, I just used to sit down and just, it sounds really corny, but I would just play and just let it come through me. And I thought, that's actually quite good, that one. Then I forgot a lot of them, remembered a lot. You know, and you just play the same ones again sometimes. And, you know, it was amazing how the songs developed over the years. But I'm still, I mean, one of the songs on one of my first albums, I Want to Go Home. I mean, I wrote that when I was 17, a standalone. And it's actually up there with the most popular songs of listeners on Spotify. So that means the world, that. Because when I wrote that song, I never thought that over 1,000 people would listen to that, and that means the world. So yeah, it's...
Do you come from a
long
musical family?
No,
No,
Well,
just do.
our family are all science. But in saying that, I mean, one of my biggest influences is my brother Zach. Over the years when I've been doing these songs, every time I record a song, I send it to him. Every single one over the years. And he always gives me feedback and he's always very encouraging. He's got his own musical stuff as well. They've got a band, Tripwire, which I would check out because they're really, really good guys in that band and the music's excellent. Different style for me, but anyway, back to me. Every time we used to speak at the music, he'd say, "Now, when are you putting this down? When are you going to go into the studio and do it?" I went, "Zach, it's not that simple because I can't play the instruments well enough to be able to put this down. I can't sing well enough." So we spoke about, getting a band together, hiring musicians to do it, and it just never happened. Which is when AI came on the scene, I was then able to do a lot more with my music. Mm-hmm. And that's probably something I should talk about, is AI, because some people love it, some people are very, very against it.
Yeah.
Because some people say
controversial.
now that, I say that like a third of all songs uploaded now to Apple Music is AI generated.
Is that true?
Apparently so. Somebody said that anyway, and I can see that because you can get a song now out of a text message. These apps will create it. It's scary where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And people say to me, "Oh, you've just generated that on AI." I don't mean it's hurtful, because the bottom line is I don't really care. But see, these songs, you still need that soul behind it to create a song. Mm-hmm. You can't. I mean, go on then. If it's that easy, I say to people, do it. Generate a song and let's see how well it does. There's a guitar. Let's have a wee look here. So, I'll take my song which I've written. What will we do? It's a bit dusty. Is it in tune? Yeah. So Breaking Through the Midnight, for example. All around I hear your face, falling like a quiet place, running back through circles, back to you. And I know I'll take you there, like I know you just don't care, breaking through the midnight, in between. When that's Breaking Through the Midnight, that's like acoustically, guys. But you can see I'm not good enough to record that.
What do you mean you're not
properly.
good enough?
Well, I don't think I am. When you hear the actual version, you can see, or like, trying to remember what one can I do. The night was young and cold, we didn't want for all. I saw you there like an open prayer, the meaning would unfold. And so on. That's like Take Me Home, which I wrote for my girlfriend Diane, who's a huge inspiration as well. I better give her a mention, or I'll be in trouble. But see, all these songs I could go on all day. So what I do then is I take the AI and I work on it. It's like having a full orchestra at your fingertips.
So what's the process? Do you record your voice?
Yeah.
And you record yourself playing, and then input it, and it edits it together?
Yeah. Basically that's it. Because I will record that song like that. I'll put it into AI and then I'll ask it to develop the song. I say, I want this at the start, I want the drums, give me this sort of beat. I want, some of our earlier albums, I've got violins in it, I've got, much more pianos, the kind of things I was playing about with it all. So it's amazing that you can add all that in. How much would that have cost for me to get a full orchestra and to get people to sing that? And the fact that I've now got that at my fingertips, yeah, do I feel like it's cheating? A wee bit, I do. But at the same time, it's given me that platform to launch the creativity that I would never have been able to do otherwise. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loving it.
So what is it you're trying to express through your music?
Well, as I was saying there, it's every mood, every emotion that I felt, mainly from my work, coming home at night and being annoyed about certain things or different aspects of life. I've seen I would go in and write a song about it. So I think we all go through these same emotions. I'm not alone in feeling these things. It's just I love figuring out myself from the music that I do. And I think other people can take from that as well. We all feel the same things. We're all human. So if one person comes up to me and says, "Wow, that song, I needed to hear that," which has happened, that means the absolute world to me. So if one person out there can take something from my songs, as I say, I can't ask for more than that. I just love doing it.
So is that where the Circle of Mirrors comes into it then?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the album title.
Yeah, it's my latest album. Wow, there's so much work in this. Most of these songs I wrote over the last 7 weeks, although there were some ideas in them from the past. When I was younger growing up, I always had this idea I wanted to do a concept album. A concept album is where it's not one song, the whole album has a topic that carries right the way through in all the songs and comes to a conclusion at the end of it. And my favourite album of all time was a band called Marillion, called Misplaced Childhood.
Okay.
Amazing album. I listened to that album over and over again and how it tells a story. And then Iron Maiden did Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which is a concept album too. And I thought to myself, do you know, one day I'm going to write a concept album. And I knew what I wanted to write it about these mirrors that we all see in life, the mirrors being reflections of different situations you face in life and how you deal with that mirror and how at the end of the journey you come to the answer, the realisation. And that's where I thought of the idea where, you know, the 9 songs, 9 mirrors, 1 realisation at the end of it, each song dealing with a different aspect of life where you're trying to find meaning. Because I think a lot of us go through life searching for that meaning, and it's there right in front of us sometimes, which is the rainbow riding, where we're just riding it, and that answer's there. The answer's always there, but we seem to go off at tangents in different ways, and we miss it. So that was the idea behind Circle of Mirrors.
It's quite deep.
That's me, I guess.
So let's talk about the album then. How should people experience it? Should they be going through in order? Do you think they need to go through in order? Let's talk about the first track then. Mirror Me?
Mirror Me, yeah.
Yeah.
I stepped beyond the usual line. The air began to shift. The shapes around me move in time like something wouldn't quit. No voices, but I felt the pull from underneath the sound. Like every step I tried to take was dragging deeper down. Feel it closing, feel it now. Every face is breaking out. No escape, no way around. Something's turning me inside out. Mirror me, mirror me, mirror me. Lock me out. Too many voices feeling too damn loud.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a concept album, there is a story right the way through the album. But I mean, if you've got a favourite track, and it's track number 3, I mean, I'm not saying people should listen to track number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just to say to listen to track number 3.
Yeah.
By all means, listen to your favourite track. But it's the sort of thing where you put those headphones on or you turn your speakers up and you listen to it, and it will take you on a journey. It will take you on through every single aspect that I'm trying to explain in the songs of all the mirrors and then bring you to that conclusion. So Mirror Me is the first one where that first crack appears, the first mirror. Now, how can I explain this? How I thought of this song, you know how you look in a mirror sometimes and you look at it and you might be checking your hair, not that I do it very often as you can see there, or you might be, you've got a spot in your cheek or something and you're looking at it, but occasionally you'll look at yourself and you'll just catch your eyes and see for a split second, your reflection becomes the observer, it's watching you. And that is the point when most people look away. Very few people then gaze further, deeper into it to see what's actually going on. Now, Mirror Me is about when you hold that gaze in there and your reflection looks back at you and it's a strange feeling because the observer is becoming the observed.
Yep.
And if you hold that feeling, let it take you away, that's what the first track's about.
You're sort of going deeper into yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
You realise there are lots of different versions of yourself, and how can you make life work with these different versions of yourself? The rest of the album is hard because that one song opens that up, like the first crack appearing, and then the rest of it develops it. So that Mirror Me is about that little moment of realisation. Whoa, you know, you might be getting ready to go to work and you look in the mirror and the mirror looks back at you and you're like, I've got to get ready for my work. So you don't hold that gaze.
Yeah.
But when you do hold that gaze, Mirror Me is what
What do you
happens.
find?
Yeah.
So then that leads on to the next track, which is Turn the Dial.
Yeah.
There was something in the silence, but I never let it through. I feel it now, just out of sight, like a spark behind the line. Turn the dial, feel it now, something breaking through the sound. In the quiet, it gets loud. I was lost, but I'm found. Turn the dial, hold it there. There's a signal in the air. I was searching everywhere. It was always there.
Turn the Dial is sometimes about how in life we fight to get to different places in life. And sometimes it's just about adjusting your own frequency. Have you ever had a situation where you can't think of an answer to something? You're like, oh, what's that guy's name again? What is that? I can't think about it. And you just can't think. And the minute you stop thinking about it, it comes to you.
Yep.
It's because I think you're chasing that wrong frequency. And the minute you reset, you become aware of the answer. And you're like, oh, that's what it is. So that's what first made me think about it. I think all possibilities and all answers are there, almost like a radio frequency that's transmitting round about us all the time. And instead of chasing things in an unknown direction, if we just sit and tune in to where we want to be, I really do think that it's a different way of getting places. Again, with the whole rainbow riding thing, you're riding that colour, you're just going with it on that frequency to get to the answer. So
Yeah.
Turn the Dial talks about that. It talks about how the person in the video is he's trying to find an answer, but he can't. But then he literally turns that dial of his own frequency, and all of a sudden he feels that everything's coming towards him. Then and he has the answers he's looking for. It's quite simple, really.
That's a nice way to think about it.
Yeah,
It's quite interesting.
yeah, it flowed quite easily when I wrote it because it's quite a simple concept. I won't pretend it's too deep, but I think we're all guilty sometimes of chasing too hard in one direction, and the minute we stop, reset, the answer comes.
Yeah.
And the number of times I've had that in life is, I thought there's definitely a song in there, so there we go.
So then that leads us on to track 3. There must be more than this. Is there more than this?
Well, I think so.
There must be.
Me for a second, like a crack I can't unsee. Something just beneath the surface, looking back at me. There must be more than this. I can feel it in the space, in the silence, after everything we never seem to say. Every time it starts to rise, we turn and walk away, but it lingers in the quiet, and it won't just fade.
That's a song about realisation, just about the mundane, repetitive nature of life sometimes. When you're in the office and you're looking at the clock and it's 3:30 and your work's piling up and you just, that wee second where you have a sip of your coffee, if you're allowed a tea break that is, and you look around and everybody's just sitting there like this, looking at the clock as well as you, thinking I've got 2 hours till home time. See, there must be more than this. What I tried to put across in that video, that is the lyrics at the start, it says that there's a fly going nowhere stuck in a light, and the guy looks up at it when he's doing his work. He's tuning the end of his pencil and he looks up at the fly in the light and he thinks, wow, there must be more than this. And I wanted to put across that the guy was the fly in the light because he was going nowhere either. And he's doing his work, he's looking out at the car park, he's thinking, there must be more than this. And there's little conversations in the office where there's a wee spark of life now and again, and for a second it's like, and then it just fades away again. And for a moment he almost had it with the more than this, but then it goes back to the dull, repetitive nature again.
Yep.
And people always think that, well, I wouldn't say people always think, but you think with an awakening in life there's going to be some big, massive, dramatic event. But I don't think so. Sometimes I just think these realisations happen behind normal day life. And where you're just working away and you suddenly think of something and you think, wow, is that real? But we let it fade away most of the time. We never actually take that moment and build on it, take it any further.
Yeah.
And that song is about waking up. I don't know if I would say that. It sounds a bit corny, but just that realisation that there's more than just going to work
Yeah.
every day and doing the same old job.
Like
Day in,
that
day
clicking
out.
moment where it
Yeah.
clicks for you.
Yeah. And that basically just deals with that.
Yeah. So then the album takes a little bit of a turn, doesn't it, with the next song, The Many I Am?
The Many I Am, yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it gets a bit darker.
yeah, goes very dark.
Every face got a different name. The many I am, the many I am, different eyes in every room, watching how I play the part, changing tones to fit the scene, but I'm falling out of heart. There's a shadow.
Because at this point, this song came from my job. When you have so many different people in a day and they're all different, and part of the skill of that job, that's with other jobs, not just dentistry, but you have to be so many different people in one day to make people feel safe, to feel at ease, to make
Yeah.
them feel comfortable getting on with you. And I would come home at night and I actually would sit in a dark room because I had lost all sight of who I was. And I needed that space just to become myself again. So I could deal with it, because you would forget who you were amongst it all. So that's when The Many I Am song came in. It was all these different people that you are, all the different masks you wear, that you do lose track of who you are.
Yeah.
So in the song and the video, where the character is struggling to go through life, basically he tries to strip it all away to find out who he actually is, and he really, really struggles. And it's the darkest part. It's like the turning point of the whole album, because in this he is destroyed because he's lost. He cannot find who he actually is. And I think I put that across really well in the music, because there's this sense of despair in the middle section where when I write music, is I don't know if you've caught from the way I'm describing it, is I have to go to that place to write it.
Yeah.
And that was brought on naturally because I would come home at night annoyed about certain things and I would write a song about it. So me writing this song, I took myself to that place in absolute despair where I didn't know who I was anymore. So I love the way how this has come across, but maybe nobody else will get it, but I certainly get
Like
it.
you can feel the emotion in it.
Yeah, I really feel emotion, but probably because I connect with it more because I wrote it from that place.
Yeah.
It takes me back to that place.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what other people think about it. But yeah, it is the turning point for the whole album. Yeah.
So then that song leads on to our next one, of course, but continues that darker theme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's called There's No One There.
Changed my voice to fit the tone, laughed on cue, played it known, cut the edges, held it in, shaped myself to let you in every room.
With all these different masks, different faces, different people that he is during the day, and he stripped them away. There's nothing left. He's like, I'm so alone. Who am I? I've stripped everything away, bare to the bones, and I can't find myself now. I'm lost. So in the video, I deal with that, and the song where he's just desperately searching for himself. He says there's no one there. It's that terrifying moment of absence that you have where it's very, very hard to stand alone and be that only person that's there. Most people, if you were to say that they're the only thing in the universe, they struggle to cope with that, because when you truly are alone, and when you go inside yourself to that depth and strip everything else away, and you realise that there's nothing there, where you have to find yourself, because there's nothing, no one's going to put that hand in and save you, it's you, and you have to find yourself in that. So throughout the song, he's struggling big time. Then at the end of the song, he suddenly realises that there's someone there. I found myself. I just let it be, and instead of looking, I let it come to me, like the whole theme of the album. So he realises there is someone there at the end of it. And that takes us on to the next song.
Wow. So the next song, The World in Me,
Yeah.
does it get a bit happier now, or are we
Yeah.
still...
Does it really change a thing? Does it change where I begin? If they're pulling every string, does it matter in the end? Does it really change a thing?
Yeah, the album's turned now.
Returning now.
He's found something within himself, but the World in Me deals with external life, you know, where you're looking for direction outside of yourself. Now, we've all been there where we go down rabbit holes and stuff, thinking we're finding directions, finding answers, and we only get so far. Like the powers that be don't let you get any further. It's that they won't tell us the real answers, like aliens, UFOs. We're not allowed to know the answers. It's all, you know, redacted. We're not allowed to find out the truth about it. Many things in life, it's the same. So you can beat yourself up thinking, how am I supposed to get anywhere in life when I can't find out the truth, what's actually going on? Mm-hmm. Whereas the whole point of The World in Me is that it's inside here.
Yeah.
And he realises that throughout the song. He realises that he's been manipulated, that the world round about him is fake. And if he wants to find the truth, he has to go inside of himself and develop himself that way. Because that's where the answer lies.
Good for him.
And that takes us on to the next track.
And that's In the Deja Vu.
You got it.
But it pulls me back. Is it coincidence? Calling my name, every step repeating, but it's not the same. I've seen this moment before it began, like a whisper saying, "This is the plan."
So what that deals with is these little moments in life that just feel slightly different. And deja vu is one of those mysteries that we're all feel a little bit uneasy about and nobody can really explain it. What is deja vu?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
that-
weird feeling.
Yeah, just that moment where I've been here before, I've done this already. And what do we actually take from that? Have we actually been there before? Is it a past life? Is it just something in this life that's just very, very similar and it's triggering something in your mind to think it's the same? Or is it a message? Is it a repetition of an event that you're supposed to learn from? Do your mind seeing a slightly different event but similar, but the message is the same? I think that, but you know, everyone takes their own things. But see that feeling in the deja vu. That's why the song's called In the Deja Vu rather than Deja Vu, because when you're in it, that little moment of confusion where things just, your world's almost like it's turned upside down. Why am I feeling this way? And you're looking for that direction, you're looking for something. And the song just is to make people aware that maybe we should be exploring these moments more.
Yeah.
Because maybe they are there for a reason. Maybe that is showing you some direction, somewhere that takes you to an answer. If you follow the flow of that, because it's like looking at your reflection in the mirror and it looks back at you. We're very good at sort of saying, oh, I don't like that, and going away. The
Yeah,
deja
we
vu,
brush
oh,
it
that,
off,
yeah,
yeah.
that feels wrong. I don't like that. Whereas if we actually keep ourselves in that moment and not think about it, because I think that can take us in the wrong direction. You think too much about it. But if you actually just feel the emotion and let it guide you, it can take you to a new feeling inside. And the song is about that. And then it leads us on to the next song in the album, which is called The Spaces in Between.
In the spaces in between, that's where everything leads. Not the words, not the sound, it's the part you never found. In the spaces in between, where you are, where you've been. Not the line, not the scene, it's the space in between.
And The Spaces in Between is similar to this because it then develops it into, it's not the actual experiences themselves, it's the little spaces in between them. Like when you're talking to somebody, it's not what you're saying. It's that little sense that you have after the conversation, or that wee moment where you look and somebody smiles, or and it's like in between the actual experiences themselves. but those moments actually mean a lot more. Mm-hmm. For example, if somebody says something and you intend to listen to it, and then the facial expression says something at the end of it, that facial expression can change your whole understanding or your whole interpretation of what they were saying. And those wee spaces in between is almost like you've got those 9 mirrors, the 9 songs. It's the spaces in between the mirrors. Yeah. So the deja vu leads quite nicely on to that. And it's just that exploration on a deeper level of not the actual experiences themselves, but the wee spaces in between them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That little journey that you're going on.
Exactly.
So then, here we are at the last track, The Watcher.
Every line I follow through led me somewhere I once knew. No more space to hesitate. Now I feel it shifting place. I was the watcher all along, standing right where I began. Every mirror, every view, breaking open into you.
Who is the Watcher? What is the Watcher?
It's the realisation.
Okay.
The whole album has been leading up to this, and you're like, what's this conclusion going to be? Yeah. Hopefully you're not going to be disappointed. Anyway, the Watcher is your awareness. The Watcher is you, but it's a deeper level. It's that moment where you realise that you're watching yourself, you're watching your thoughts, how you're going to act, your emotions before it actually happens. And I think that's a great place to get to. Because underneath all of it, all the fear, the pain, the love, the enjoyment, there's just something underneath that, just not judging you, but just observing quietly in the background, building what you are. And that's the Watcher,
Watching you.
basically, yeah. So the Watcher isn't another character. The Watcher's what remains when all else settles. And that's why the album finishes quietly, not dramatically, just quietly. Because it's just that realisation that all along it was you, just you.
Wow.
That's all. And I'm hopeful I put that across in the album, but that'll be for people to judge and take their own thing from it. Because see, the end of the day is, you can write an album a certain way. And it's a funny thing, this, because I'll listen to it again and then I take something else from the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that what I meant by that? And you've actually got to question yourself and go, whoa, that's good, I like that. But when you wrote the lyrics, you didn't actually think of it that way.
Yeah.
So I know when I can listen to an album I listened to it 30, 40 years ago, and you take something new from it. And that's the beauty.
That's nice, isn't it?
The beauty
and
of
you
music
can
that
also
way.
share ideas with other people that have interpreted it differently.
And that's what I love hearing. I mean, some of my songs get reviewed now and again, and I love reading those reviews to see what people take from them.
Yeah.
I've got to admit though, sometimes it's like, what? That's not what I meant, and you kind of think.
Yeah.
But other times somebody hits on it exactly, and you think, yes, they've got that across. They've got the meaning. I put it across, because writing lyrics is so much harder sometimes than just like writing a book, because you have to make those lyrics hit at the right point in the music. You have to leave people waiting for the answer, so they're hanging on to that note. That drum beat has to accentuate that emotion that you want to put across. So it can be harder trying to do that, and as I've always admired that skill in people that write lyrics and they put the music together at the right moment.
Yeah.
And I love doing that, just capturing that moment where they're like, what's coming next? Or, whoa, I've tried. It might hit with some people.
Do you feel like you've achieved it?
To me, yes, but one person can listen to a song and take something totally different, as we're saying.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see, but I've had good feedback so far, but each to their own.
So putting it all together, what does Circle of Mirrors, what does it show us? What's it showing us?
You don't get anywhere really by adding stuff to it. The answer's already there. You just have to go with it and understand the signals, everything that's there, and just it's all in here, and basically finding yourself.
You just have to ride the rainbow.
Exactly. I couldn't put it better myself.
So what do you want people to question about themselves after they've heard your music?
Good question. whether the life they're living is actually theirs. That sound all right? Yeah.
Yeah. What happens after the last song?
Nothing new starts. You just stop pretending you didn't see it.
So what happens next for Rainbow Riding? Are you going to be doing live performances or?
Live performances. Gosh, that takes me back a long time. I'd have to put a band together, and I could maybe try and sing and maybe play bass guitar, but I would need to. Maybe if I was younger, I maybe would.
You went to a wee acoustic set or?
I would do that. That's not a problem to do that. I would have to work on the songs a lot to make sure they were good enough acoustically. A lot of the older ones are, but this album has a lot more in it than just acoustics. I would have to work on that to make it good enough to perform.
Come through as much.
Yeah, it would be hard to do the album, but I could certainly play other songs like that. I might do that. But as for putting a band together, see when you've got a band, see the arguments, people want to do things a certain way, the guitarist wants to play it that way. I love putting the emotion across in the songs the way I feel it. And I think as musicians, people want to put their own emotion across in the song, and you either gel very well with somebody or with people, or you don't. And I think when you get that, when they butt together, sometimes it works and other times it just falls apart. And the trouble is, at my age, I can't be bothered with that. I know I do it myself and I like the way I do it. So the pressure of performing live, wow, when I go back at the excitement behind it before you went on stage was amazing. And yeah, I'd love to feel that feeling again, but at the same time, I don't think I could be bothered with the hassle. I love what I do and I love the way I do it, so probably not. But you never know.
We'll see.